Hello viewers at home, my name is Natacia Seopa and you're watching Freedom Chatter on DSP TV. Today I'll be having a chat with a beautiful woman by the name of Sedumedi, who is a breast cancer survivor. I'm chatting with her today and we'll get to know more about this beautiful woman. Hello Sister Refile.
Hello Nada, how are you? I'm good, and how are you?
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me today.
No, thank you for having me, such an honor.
To start with, can you please tell us who is Sedumedi?
Sedumedi is well known as Fifi. I'm a mother of two. My son will be turning 19 and my daughter will be turning 13 in October. And I am a founder of Sedumedi Hope Foundation.
Okay.
I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a radio personality. I run a radio show on Slude FM every Saturdays.
Alright.
And I'm a Mount Everest climber.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm a bullet survivor.
Oh,
okay.
as I see.
Yeah.
So you did mention that you're having a 19-year-old son. Well, looking this young.
Okay, you can get tips for free, you know.
Okay, we'll talk about that after the show. So tell us, Sedumedi, you are a cancer survivor.
Yes.
Can you please take us through the journey? How did you actually realize or find out that you had breast cancer?
Okay, I lost my mom in 2004. She was diagnosed with brain tumor. So, you know, history of cancer, if there's someone in the family who goes through cancer, so we must be very cautious, especially with the new coming generation. So I had a lump for like 2 to 3 years, which I was scared to get it tested or checked.
So you knew about the lump?
Yes, I felt it, but I was very scared because I saw my mom struggling, you know, with regards to her cancer. And you know, if there's one thing that really scared the hell out of me is I couldn't do anything for her. So I felt helpless, and you know, it's quite scary. And losing your mom, I think I'm not gonna say when you lose your father, the pain is different because there are more people who are attached to their fathers than to their mothers. But for me, I was more attached to my mom. So I was very scared, but I think in 2013 I had a courage to go and tell my doctor.
What gave you that courage to actually stand up and say, you know what, I'm going for this, I'm going to drop the fear and I'm going to get tested?
I think the fact that it was growing, it was getting bigger and bigger.
So you felt that it was
growing, and it was getting a little bit painful. So I prayed about it. I asked God to give me strength because I could see that I won't be able to do it on my own. So I went to the doctor. I had a flu, but then when I was at the doctor's room, I just felt this thing that I should tell her.
That
she
you
was
being scared, and then
yes,
you are going to tell the doctor that I'm having this, I've been feeling this, so that you can get tested as well.
Yes, because the more you sit with this lump not knowing, because I can say it's the fear of the unknown. You don't know if they will say it's cancerous or it's not cancerous, but you fearful, you know. So I think most of us we fear a lot of things that we don't know about. We have these little voices in our head saying, yeah, it's gonna be cancer, you know. Yeah. So and when she checked me, she said to me, raise up your hands. I was like, what does raising up my hands have to do with the lump in my breast? Yeah. The little that we know, you know.
Not being educated about
yes, the lack of education. And she just went through my armpits. And then I was like, and then what are you doing? She said, no, I'm checking. There's some of the things that are called lymph nodes. So lymph nodes are things like when you've got tonsils, you can feel them.
Yeah, you can actually feel them.
Yes, so she was drawing a sketch. Then she felt my lump and she said, no, this doesn't look good. So she sent me to the breast clinic in Helen Joseph.
How did you take it? As soon as you hear the doctor saying, this is not looking good, how did you feel about it? How did you take it?
You know, the fact that I knew that something might be wrong with regards to my mom. So I think taking the step to get it checked, for me, that was the biggest step. I was actually ready for anything. And remember, I was talking to the general practitioner.
Yeah.
She knows nothing about breast. Okay, she might know a bit, but she referred me to the breast clinic where they deal only with breasts. So she said to me, okay, go to Helen Joseph Breast Clinic. They will deal with you, and please bring me the results. And she said I must go as soon as possible. Okay, I listened to her, and then I went to the breast clinic in Helen Joseph. I got assisted quickly, and then they ran some tests, but you scared. To be honest with you, you feeling very scared.
Because
and
now you went to the doctor, they
yes,
referred to another breast doctor.
yes,
Thinking,
and it's a whole lot of women, go-go's, young teenagers. I remember I was sitting to this young teenager. I think she was in grade 10.
Was it before you
No,
knew
while I
that
was
you
on
had
the
it?
queue. While I was on
you
the
saw-
queue.
Okay.
And I was so scared. She said to me, "Auntie, you look scared." Because when you're scared, people can, when you're nervous, people
can
can
actually
see.
see that, okay, this one is actually
yes,
nervous.
And she said to me, "Please don't be scared. God is with you." For her saying, and she gave me a tight hug. For her saying that, I felt that there's no need for me to be scared.
She actually gave you the strength.
The strength,
Let me just go
especially,
through this.
I think she was 16.
Imagine such a young.
So such a young
Oh my
child,
goodness.
and I'm scared. But one thing that I've realized is you get scared for goggles, and the goggles will say, "No, don't be scared. Now I've lived my life,
Yeah.
So I'm scared for you. You've got kids. You still have to see your
You're
kids
still
growing,
young.
But as youngsters, we worry for goggles. The goggles worry for us. Then I went in and they checked me up and they said, "This doesn't look good." Then they ran some tests. Then we wait for the results at the lab. 2 weeks to 3 weeks, which is also scary because you're thinking,
for the results
yes,
now.
yes,
You're going to know whether
you've got
or you
this.
don't.
Yes, remember with the lumps, some of the lumps are not cancerous.
Okay.
But what the doctors always emphasize is you must remove the lumps because in future they might be cancerous.
Okay.
So some of the lumps are not cancerous, some of the lumps are cancerous. But especially black people, we lack so much knowledge about cancer. We're thinking it's a white man's disease.
And the sad part is that there's still people who think that cancer is for white people.
Yes, no, it's a stigma. It's a myth. It's still materializing in a whole lot of our black communities.
But do you think it's still happening even now?
No, yes, definitely.
There's still
Especially
people
the
who
rural
think that,
areas.
no,
The rural
cancer is for
areas.
white people.
Yes, and some people think, especially men are very ignorant because they thinking breast cancer is only for women because they've got boobs.
Yeah.
But breast cancer also the guys, because remember they've got breast cells.
Yes, they do.
But when you tell them that there are guys who are diagnosed with breast cancer, they go like, "There's no way." Do you see how ignorant these guys are?
Yes.
So I had to wait for 2 to 3 weeks. They called me. They said my results are ready. Then you
my God,
pray.
I can imagine the nerve.
Yes,
right
the
there. It
nerves.
hits you hard.
Yeah, it does, and you pray. You ask God to like the result must come back negative.
So immediately after they called you and told you that the results are out, did you immediately went there to the
No,
hospital
I had
to
to.
check the result, or
I had to because
Okay.
remember I waited for 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So I felt that now I've started this journey. I can't stop now.
yeah,
I have to continue and finish this journey.
Yeah.
Whether being cancerous or not, but I had to finish the journey. Then I went and they gave me the news, which were not good, that I was stage 2 because there are 4 stages.
Yes, the
So
last
the last
stage
stage
is
is
the
the
one
one that is very
Yeah.
it's your. So but let me tell you one thing about cancer. Whether stage 2, stage 1, you go through the same treatment.
the chemo.
The chemotherapy, yes.
Where you lose your
You lose your hair, you lose weight, a whole lot of symptoms. And actually the symptoms are more or less the same as the HIV people.
because you also lose weight.
Weight,
the
yes,
hair
and the
loss.
hair, and you've
Okay.
got mouth sores. Like, whole lot of same symptoms.
So, Sis Fifi, after finding out about you being diagnosed, how did you take the news? Because you have kids, you have family members. How did you break it down to them that, you know what, I'm having this? How did it affect your life?
You know, on my way back, actually I broke down.
You broke
While
down.
when the doctor gave me the news, I broke down, and there were counselors there.
What was the first thing that you think about immediately when they told you?
I'm gonna die.
Oh my God.
You know, let me tell you one thing about cancer. When they tell you about cancer, you're thinking, am I gonna die? But then it's up to you as an individual. Do you wanna die or do you wanna live?
Okay.
Because if you wanna die, you will definitely die. If you wanna live, you will definitely live.
Okay, can you please explain that to me? Because
Yes.
I'm trying to understand exactly why you're saying that.
Let me tell you one thing. If you're going to throw a pity party, you're not gonna live.
Oh,
If
so
you're
it
gonna
starts with you.
You need to accept that
Okay.
you're facing this challenge. How are you going to get out of this challenge alive? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you've got a whole lot of people who are telling you all these negative things. My aunt passed on because of this breast cancer. You don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You want someone who will tell you something that is very positive. That no, you will get out of it. You will
I'm one
pull
of the
through.
survivors.
Yes, I've been there and I understand.
You're going to go
Yes,
through that,
thank you.
but you're going to
But then you
survive.
find people who are very, very extremely negative,
My
and they will
goodness.
tell you, I know my mom passed on. It was just brain tumor, not breast cancer. But the bottom line is, it's cancer.
Yes.
You know, you go through the same treatments, you go through the same symptoms. Whether going through chemotherapy, you're still going to go through the same treatments, the same sickness, you know. So if I choose that I want to live, I have to fight with everything that I have. I have to now think about my kids, because my son was like 12 by then, my daughter was 6.
My goodness.
So I have to tell God that, you know what, I'm not a dying type. I can't die now. I've got kids. I still want to see my kids graduate. I still want to see my kids my grandchildren. You get what I'm saying? So you beg God that not now. I still have so much to live for. So I think the devil was playing mind tricks with me.
Yeah.
That cancer, it killed your mom. So who do you think you are?
So tell us about the chemotherapy, the part. What is the first thing that happened to you?
Okay, I can say the vomiting. And then I had mouth sores.
My God.
And 12 days, you won't even forget the dates, because I started my first chemo on the 31st of Jan.
Yes.
On the 11th, on the 12th of Feb, my hair started falling off.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't fall off like woo. Like when you wake up, you'll find it on the pillow.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That is so painful. But then you know what? Stay tuned. We're going to an ad break. Then we'll get to know more and get to understand exactly what happened to Sis Fifi's game. Stay tuned. Thank you once again for joining us. I'm still here with Sedumedi, who is a breast cancer survivor, and we're still talking about chemotherapy and how she lost her hair. Sis Fifi, you spoke about you waking up finding your hair on the pillow. My God, how did you deal with that?
No,
How did
you
feel about
you get
it?
very emotional. Remember, the hair for us women, it symbolizes our beauty.
So
You know,
true.
so you're thinking, what am I gonna do without my hair? And now, because I'm forced to go and shave it off, you know.
Yeah.
And it was not but my son came to me and he was like, Mommy, please promise me you're not gonna cry.
Oh.
I was about to break down. Then I had to hold my
Because your
tears.
son said that, don't
Yes.
cry.
After dropping him off at school, I cried.
My God.
But then, you know, my friends were like, maybe we must have a collection of weaves and wigs. I said, no. I want to be brave enough and rock my chisco,
Yes.
letalula. And they were like, no, but we know you love your hair. I said, no. If I can tell you, the whole year,
Yeah.
2014, I was without my hair. And I was embracing my look.
And you were even proud.
Yes, but some
Because
people
that's how
thought,
you looked.
yes, some people thought maybe I'm a model. But then I'll tell them, no, the reason why I shaved off my hair is because I'm going through chemotherapy and all that. And then with chemo, there were times when my red cells and my white cells would just drop, and they will give me injections to inject myself in my tummy to boost my immune system, because now your white cells and your red cells, they literally just drop, and your veins, it chows your veins. So it's brutal, but it helps because it assists your system to fight.
That is so painful. What you went through is so painful, but then you are so strong. It needs you
I'm
to
still standing.
You're still standing, and you are so beautiful.
Thank
so let's
you.
talk about the way people reacted when they saw the way you were. When you were going through chemotherapy, you spoke about losing weight. You spoke about losing your hair. How did people react to that?
Now we're dealing with people here, human beings.
Yeah.
Doctors who didn't go to medical school.
My God.
Yes, they will diagnose you without knowing the facts.
Yeah, and
like remember I said the symptoms are the same.
As HIV.
Yes, so now they look at you, they gossip, they just drink tea with
like,
your
no,
name.
she's HIV
Yes, but
You
then
saw
with me,
she
what
lost
assisted me is because I had to talk about it. The more you talk about your situation, the more people understand.
Yeah.
Then they start seeing things your way.
Because now you are the word, you're giving the word to the people.
Yes, because now you're saying to them, this is what I'm going through. Yes. Then they go like, we didn't know. But our people need to understand. For them to understand, we need to tell them, this is cancer. It can kill you. Sometimes you might not be killed by cancer, but be killed by chemotherapy.
Yeah.
So when you're going through chemotherapy, these are the symptoms that you go through. I can say it's 3% of people who doesn't lose their hair.
Oh.
Yes.
So there are people
who doesn't lose their hair. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is, and we're talking about hair where everywhere where there's hair, it just flushes it off.
Right, so you did mention that you're having your own organization, right?
Sedumedi Hope Foundation.
It all started after you found out about cancer.
In 2016.
And you're hosting events.
Yes.
How are people responding to your events? Are they coming, or they're like, hey, Pinky, this one they love attention. They just want to be seen.
No, they actually even went to an extent to say people who are diagnosed with cancer are celebrities. It's a celebrity disease. I don't know why they're saying that, but people, like I said, people are people.
Yeah, and
they always have something to say, whether good or bad.
True.
But with regards to the projects for Sedumedi Hope Foundation, it's quite not easy, because you need sponsors. But you know what I said, with or without sponsors, the project still need to run, because the awareness, the cancer kills people every day. The awareness still needs to go out there so that people know more about this cancer, this myth, that they are not bewitched. It's just a normal disease like HIV, like TB, And they do support, but our people always think they will get something.
Also, them coming to the event to support, they're expecting
some
goodies,
whether you'll give them goodie bags or T-shirts, but we get used to them. Like, especially with the walk, the cancer, because every October we host a breast cancer awareness 5-kilometer walk.
Which is happening again
on the
this year,
26th of October, because October is a breast cancer awareness month. So people always know that we will get pink T-shirt, but then they don't understand. For you to get a pink T-shirt, you need to scratch for sponsors. If there are no sponsors, there are no T-shirts. There's no water, there are no fruits. But our people are our people. We can't put them in a box. We just need to tell them we're doing this for you as the community. We're not benefiting anything. What I'm benefiting is I managed to sleep peacefully at night, because I know I gave hope to someone who's hopeless. You get what I'm saying? You're giving someone life that I lived. I'm now 6 years on remission with cancer free. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, it's only God. It's only God, because going through, I see people passing, like saying Nabisa. We just met her on the hashtag I survived.
Yeah, the
She
event
just
that happened on the 31st of
yes,
August. She was there as
yes,
one of the
and she
motivational
just
speakers.
passed on Sunday.
Oh my God.
Like I was having so much hope that she'll pull through. But when you see people passing like that and you ask God, did I really sign up for this? Because I see these people, they struggle. I passed through that and I survived.
You survived. And talking about survival, you're having something on your neck, which is something that maybe viewers at home is actually asking, what's that? Is that a necklace or something? Maybe they want to explain
It's my beautiful necklace that I didn't go and buy it.
Okay, you just got it free.
Yeah, I got it for free.
What happened?
On the 27th of July, I was nearly killed. Attempted hijacking by 6 guys.
My God.
And they shot me. Actually, they were aiming for my head, but I managed to they actually wanted to kill me. Then I managed to flee. That's when the bullet went through my neck. So the bullet lodged in my tissues. It's still, they couldn't remove it.
So you're having a bullet there?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And where it's lodged, it was just it was just an inch to my spinal cord.
What?
So I'm gonna live with this bullet. I don't know for how long, but I'm okay. It's just my hand. My hand is
stronger.
yes. That's why I'm saying God loves me so much, and I believe that night I never thought I'll pull through, but I managed to drive myself with the blood, the bullet, and
so you drove yourself from
I drove myself from the scene.
Everything happened
yes, to the fire station in Cosmos City.
What?
Yes, and they couldn't believe it. Or how did I do it? I also don't know how I did it. All I know is I survived. Wow. The only thing that is really, some of my nerves are damaged, so my hand is pulling a lot of strain from my neck.
So you're still feeling the pain?
Yes, the pain. My 3 fingers, I can't bath myself. I'm unable to dress myself. So I'm trying to practice with my left hand. So it's one of those things that really happens to us women, not only women, like in our country, you go through all those things but they make us realize that there's so much to live for. God is telling me that I've got so much to live for.
You survived a lot of things, starting with cancer. You are a role model to a lot of people.
Thank
you are a motivational speaker. There are people who are going through cancer right now, and because of watching this, you're going to motivate them and give them strength that you know what, if ever Fifi
can do it,
so
you can also do it. Yes.
And I really appreciate your time. Thank you
thank
so
you
much
so
for coming.
much.
You look beautiful, even
Thank
if
you
you look
so
beautiful
much.
than me. But it's okay, you look beautiful. And what's the name of
But you also look beautiful. How pinky.
Oh, pinky. Oh, the one who's actually here supporting your hand.
She's supporting my hand.
All right, so we're having a game here. We're having an amazing game. So this is what you're going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a clue.
So you're gonna crack my brain.
It's not too much. I love you that much.
Okay.
So I won't crack you too much. So
Okay.
this is what is going to happen. I'm going to ask. I'm actually going to give you clues.
Okay.
Or something. So you just have to think fast and tell me what do you think is that. You're working with your mind. Yeah.
Okay.
So the first thing here.
I can see you don't want me to see.
I can't,
You're even hiding
I
it.
cannot. You call that cheating. So
Okay.
I don't want you to cheat.
All right.
So let me just put this. So this thing, let me just give you a clue. You
Okay.
tell me what it is.
Ew. This is a remote.
She actually got it right. All right, this one is going to get these things right. And then the second one. All right.
It's a horse.
Really get out of here.
Actually, the bullet didn't really mess up my memory.
It didn't.
I'm so good.
I don't know if I was going to get half of these things. All right.
It's the steering wheel. Ironing. So I got it wrong.
Yes, it's wrong. This one is a car, my darling, which you have.
No, but I tried to say a steering wheel.
But it's a car. It's a car. It's just a car. So she got this one wrong. You were very close.
Oh, okay.
So
Computer.
she got it wrong. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you so much for having
congratulations.
me. So am I gonna get something for winning?
Yeah, we'll talk
Because
about
that is like
it after the show.
90%.
We'll talk about it after the show. Thank you so much,
No,
and you and
thank
Hope
you
for
so much.
watching. And thank you to Sis Fifi, who
Thank
is
you
a
so
strong woman
much.
who's trying to show you that, you know what, even if you're going through cancer, you can still survive it. So if ever you are sitting at home or you're having a relative who's going through cancer, just make sure that you get more information, get educated. If ever there are events, make sure that you attend them, because it's where we get education, it's where we get to understand cancer and get to be aware. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for
and
having
have
me.
yourself a beautiful day.
Thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate being here.